Hello everyone and welcome to Be on Reddit. Am I the a-hole for setting the record straight about my boyfriend's birthday party antics? Original post December 6, 2023. I, 21 female, recently found myself in a situation where my boyfriend's 22 male friends insisted I foot the bill for his birthday party under the pretense that he had generously covered mine. Little did his friends know, he not only failed to contribute to my celebration but also made me pay him back for a whiskey bottle he had gifted me, all while consuming half of it in front of everyone. Recently, my boyfriend celebrated his birthday, and when his friends insisted that I contribute to covering the expenses since he supposedly paid for mine, I felt compelled to set the record straight. While I appreciate the gesture of him throwing a party for me on my birthday, the reality is he didn't contribute financially to the event. Instead, I ended up covering the costs, which left me feeling a bit deceived given the expectations set by his friends. The situation took an even more uncomfortable turn when he presented me with a whiskey bottle as a gift during my birthday party. What seems like a thoughtful gesture quickly turned into a bizarre turn of events when he later asked me to pay him back for the gift. To add insult to injury, he openly consumed half of the gifted whiskey in front of everyone while not even offering me a single drink out of it. Now, faced with the assumption that my boyfriend had generously paid for my celebration, his friends are expecting me to reciprocate the favor for his birthday party. I'm torn between going along with the misconception to keep the peace or revealing the truth about what transpired during my own celebration. So, am I the a-hole for considering exposing the reality of my boyfriend's actions regarding my birthday party expenses and gift? Please advise on how I should do it, if at all. Additional information from OP. I don't know if it is helpful or not, but we have known each other for more than 8 years and have been dating for 2, and it's the first time that we had to celebrate my birthday together. For his birthday last year, as per his request, I got us a hotel room in Marriott, where he first spent some time with me and then asked me to leave after he was done, so his friends could come in after I left and they could party for the rest of the night and next day. All this time, he made me feel whatever I did for him, including intimacy, payments, and even cooking him his favorite food, were all my duties as a good girlfriend, and I was craving that validation. Since my parents have been very disappointed in me and barely talk nicely ever since the nudes leak thing happened, and they were called up by my principal, who shamed them for being horrible parents and said that I was a loose woman and all I was good for was sleeping around, in other words. She receives the verdict, not the a-hole. Now for the comments. A Redditor says, not the a-hole. Does your boyfriend even like you? OP responds, makes me wonder cause every time we are out, I am expected to pay more than 70%. Even if we get a room for rent for a couple of hours, which doesn't exactly cost a lot, but it's about the contribution. Update December 7, 2023, the next day. After much contemplation and advice from everyone here, I decided to have an honest conversation with my boyfriend about the misconceptions surrounding our birthday celebrations. I calmly explained that while I appreciated the effort he put into throwing me a party, the financial burden had fallen entirely on my shoulders, contrary to what his friends believed. To my surprise, the discussion took an unexpected turn. My boyfriend not only admitted to his lack of financial contribution but also revealed a more troubling behavior. He confessed to showing private pictures of us and me, which he secretly took to his friends without my consent, a violation of my trust and privacy. What followed was an even more distressing revelation. His friends, upon learning about the situation, made inappropriate and disrespectful suggestions, implying that I should offer certain favors to them by entertaining them instead of contributing financially to my boyfriend's birthday party. Feeling disgusted by their behavior and betrayed by my boyfriend, I took matters into my own hands. I discreetly recorded the inappropriate conversations and confronted my now ex-boyfriend about it. When he failed to show remorse, I decided to share the recordings with his friends' girlfriends, exposing their disrespectful comments. Additionally, I reached out to his mom and shared the troubling aspects of our relationship, hoping that she could offer some guidance or intervention. It was a difficult decision, but I felt it was essential to bring these issues to light. As a result, I've officially ended the relationship and distanced myself from those toxic individuals. Thank you all for the support and advice in my previous post and for making me realize what I have failed to see. Also, please advise on anything more that I should be doing as a precaution. Now for the relevant comments. A Redditor asks, I am assuming this is in the States. Do they have laws against revenge porn? OP responds, no, this is in Asia. Not sure, but in our country, the victim is harassed much more than the perpetrator and the shame that comes with it. My family will disown me and societal issues. Rather, in many cases, they ask the victim to describe pics or show them what it might look like and call them horrible names, and even if they do find out, you become material by them. Another Redditor says, I'm sorry about that. I think in today's world, not sending pictures is the way to go. Shouldn't have to be because you should be able to trust your partner. OP responds, oh, this time round I didn't send anything. He took it all on his own. That's why even I don't know what it contains. My 34 male wife, 28 female wants to name our baby after her dead ex-boyfriend. Original post, April 19th, 2019. When my wife and I met, she had broken up with her boyfriend almost a year prior. We went on a couple of dates until I noticed she slowly stopped talking to me. I found out she had gotten back with her boyfriend. We remained friendly since we would run into each other at the gym. That's how we met. A year later, they break up. I decided to go for it again and asked her out. She was pretty upfront about him, and I learned that they have been off and on for almost 4 years. She left him because he started to get abusive. We get married a little over a year later. A few months later, she gets pregnant. Last week, I was sitting in the kitchen studying until I heard my wife yell out, crying. I ran over to her to ask her what was wrong. She had difficulty speaking, but she eventually showed me a post on Facebook that a mutual friend between her and her ex had posted. Her ex had gotten into a motorcycle accident and had died. My wife is an avid motorcyclist who stopped riding once she got pregnant. She knew how passionate he was about motorcycle riding just as much as her and how tragic it is. I console my wife and help her get to bed, letting her know that I'm here for her. I didn't think much about the whole thing until my wife told me last night that she wants to name our baby after him. I hesitated for a bit and told her that I feel uncomfortable with it. For one, it's her ex. Second, he was abusive. Why would she want to honor someone like that? My wife got pretty upset and just wouldn't hear me out on my reasons. She won't talk to me at all. Am I really in the wrong here? I'm just thinking that my wife is extremely emotional at the moment since she's pregnant and trying to process her ex's death. Any advice? TLDR, my wife's abusive ex-boyfriend died and she wants to name our baby after him. Now she's mad at me. Now for the comments. A Redditor says, okay, I'll be the a-hole here. Is the kid yours? She's left you for him before. You got married really quickly and she got pregnant shortly after. It doesn't exactly sound like she was over him given her response and wanting to name the kid after him. On the not a-hole side, you're absolutely correct in not wanting to have your child named after her ex. That's an incredibly disturbing thing to have to explain, which shouldn't even be an issue in the first place. I really hope she's just being in a heightened emotional state because that is very disrespectful to you and the marriage. OP responds, yes, the kid is mine. When we started dating again, her ex moved back home to another state. We moved closer to our families too right before we got married. Update, April 22nd, 2019, 3 days later. For Easter, we already had plans with her family to go to church and then have a barbecue at her sister's. Not wanting her family to see any tension, I saw this as a chance for her to have to speak to me. As we're getting ready for church, I tell her that we need to talk about everything now. She agreed and sat down with me. I did tell her that there's absolutely no way we're naming our baby after her ex, or any of our kids if we have even more. She agreed and apologized for acting irrational. Also, I know a lot of you suggested that I get a paternity test. I know that I'm 100% the father. I didn't want anyone to get my anxiety up since, while it may seem rational, jumping into an extreme conclusion and making things worse. I thought it out but I still did ask if she was still in love with her ex and if she did cheat. She adamantly said no. She had already stopped loving him even before they broke up. She tried to make the relationship work, but she just wasn't in love with him anymore. She described him as not being a good person at all. She apologized for making me feel that way. I told her that I understand she's going through a lot of emotions right now, and being pregnant doesn't help at all. But I had to ask on why she would want to name our baby after him, even after all she has told me. She started to get choked up and was shaking. I told her that she could tell me. She confessed that when her and her ex broke up, the last thing she told him was that she wished he would fall off his bike and die. Also, the bike that he died riding on was a bike that she strongly suggested that he buy, even though it wasn't his first choice. She also talked about how accidentally getting pregnant and her ex suddenly dying is a lot for her to handle. She wasn't expecting to be a mom so soon, and her life is about to change when she really didn't want it to. She talked about how she thought we'd travel and that she'd continue racing her motorcycle. Now, she's not even sure if she'd be able to ride again. She actually thought she might be able to ride again once she had the baby, but her ex's death reminded her how much of a risk it is. She doesn't want to risk her life when she has a family. She feels gutted. Regardless, she kept stressing out to me on how she wouldn't change a thing about her life now, and that she's happy to be married to me and is going to be a mom. We're the best things that have ever happened to her. Anxiety also runs in my wife's family. My wife gets intrusive thoughts about how her ex died too. It's so bad that she has a hard time sleeping sometimes. After discussing things, she decided she'll be going into therapy. She has her first appointment this week. TLDR, wife feels guilty about ex's death after persuading him to buy the motorcycle that he died on and telling him she wished that he'd fall off his bike and die. She keeps thinking about how he died. Wife also said that she's happy to be married and is going to be a mom, but there's a lot going on and it's a lot. She's sad that she probably can't ride motorcycles anymore. Wife will go into therapy this week. Help me solve a family mystery. Original post October 31, 2018. Hi friends, I have a bizarre story, so settle in. I am a Russian living in America. Recently, my mother has revealed that people I had thought I was related to all my life are actually not our relatives at all. She says that her father was a Swedish Finn who went to some kind of festival in Soviet Union, probably in Moscow, in 1965, met her mother, my grandmother, and the result was my mother. Apparently, they did not keep in touch. She says that she has looked up the family and believes it to be true, but has decided not to contact them and would prefer I not contact them either. She will not tell me her father's name, but has given me the following information. He has a Latin surname that is very memorable. His family is Swedish Finns, intellectuals for many generations, and he is alive with grandchildren. She also says that she has a nephew named Juha. He is from Tampere, and in 2012, he was touring Turku as the frontman of a rock group. Now, I'm not sure what I would do with any information I find. I don't want to go against her wishes, but I do want to at least see photos or have some knowledge of my potential family. She has also told me that my great-grandmother, this time no blood relatives, was a Finnish orphan whose family had supported the Reds and were massacred by the Whites. Apparently, there were groups of Finnish orphans sent to be fostered by Russian peasants in the Soviet Union. Does anyone know any more concrete facts on this? Again, she suspects it was after the Battle of Tampere. Please help and thank you. Update August 13, 2019. Almost a year later. A lot of you had been really helpful when I posted here last year about my Russian mother claiming to have a Finnish father but refusing to give me any real details. Instead, just sharing weird clues like her possible nephew is in a band from Tampere and her father has a Latin surname. In any case, I did a 23andMe test which showed I was 96% Russian and maybe 3.5% Finnish, which I think closes that possibility pretty resolutely. I confronted my mother with this and she reacted badly, basically saying I never said any of this is 100% and anyway the science is flawed. She then went on to tell me that contrary to her prior claims, she has actually spoken with these alleged relatives and they want nothing to do with me. She closed her email by taunting me that if I want to find them, I'm welcome to. There are 300,000 Swedish Finns, so basically I can go F myself. Anyway, hopefully this update was interesting. I'm furious and sharing this with the internet makes me feel better. Thanks. Now for the comments. A Redditor says, sad to hear your mother is being so difficult about it. Hope she'll change her mind about telling you. OP responds, I doubt she will. A part of me is like, Finland doesn't even deserve her. She gives a last comment. Also, like, if you guys want to adopt me as an honorary maybe Finn, I'm cool with that too. Otherwise, I'll just remain over here as a Russian who had that great experience with the super helpful and empathetic Finns. That was the end of the video. Comment down below to share what you thought. Press like and subscribe and click the notification bell for more regular updates. Thank you for watching.